Hello and good morning. Takes me about a week to get used to this daylight savings time. I don't know what it is. I got to get into the flow of things here. Anyway, this video is in series with my van build, and so it's a small edition, but it's a really needed edition with spring and summer coming up, and we feel like that it's a necessity. So if you're following my van build, stay tuned. I think this will be real helpful for you. I do have a Ram Promaster, but I think it would be helpful for anybody with any van because this particular item can be adjusted or cut or fixed and placed in any van situation. If you're not following my van series and you just like to watch, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But keep in mind, I do have some great trips coming up here planned in the next couple weeks, couple months. I got some gear reviews coming up here real soon, and I'll probably do like a spring and summer loadout of my backpacking gear. One interesting thing I have coming up here, it's in about 2 weeks, just north of here, there are places around this state, Florida, that allow primitive camping with reservation, and you're allowed to camp there for up to a week. The thing about it is you're not allowed to bring RVs, campers, pop-ups, any of that type of thing. You have to use a tent, and it has to be in a primitive type situation. So I went ahead and reserved one that I've been looking at, and I've kind of been talking to the land management company up there, and they said, yeah, as long as you're staying in the tent, that's all right. Well, finally they got back to me again. They said, well, you know, we're kind of thinking that because you're in I was upfront with them too, and they thanked me for my honesty. They said, since you're in a camper van, that might give a wrong impression to anybody that, and plus I have a YouTube channel to see this, that it give the wrong impression that campers are allowed there and RVs and are allowed there. I assured them that when I go up there, it will not be about the van, and there will be no videos showing the van, or at least showing that it's a camper van. I told them it's a mode of transportation, and I assured them that I would be staying in a tent and doing the whole primitive camping thing. So the land manager got back to me and said, okay, I have no problem with that, thank you very much. And they gave me the gate code. Now the gate code allows me to drive in there, drive pretty much right up to the campsite, and therefore I don't have to pack in a lot of things that will make it really nice back there as while I'm camping in the tent. Not only do I have that option, I also they also have their picnic tables, a fire ring. I think there's a potable water pump, a non-potable water pump. There's canals up there. I'll do some fishing, and I heard there's like 17 miles of hiking trails all throughout there and tons of wildlife. So it's going to be real interesting knowing that when I push that button and I get into that gate and I lock it behind me, that I'm going to be the only one there, and I'm going to have all this thousands of acres to myself, and it should be really interesting. They did tell me though that don't be surprised if somebody from law enforcement comes by just to check to show that you have that permit to do that, which is fine with me. I am going to be in a tent. I'm going to do the whole tent thing. So that's coming up in 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. But right now, let's get into this little addition to my van, and I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you for following Walker's World. Talk to you soon. Hello. We are going to try to attempt a new project today, a much needed one with the summer months coming up and spring. And this is going to be a bug screen entry. Well, it's going to be flaps down the middle of it. And we're going to put it on the rear entry of our van. And if it works out, we're going to put one on the slider too, which is going to be even more difficult. What we're going to do is in the back of the van, behind here, we're going to put the Velcro. This, from this side to this side, behind there is like 64 inches, but as you come up here, it actually bows out a little bit to 65 inches. The problem is, The screening comes in 72 by 80. Now the length don't matter, we'll cut the length down, but we've got to bring the sides in approximately 3 inches. That's it, Dexter, don't walk over. 3 inches on each side. So I don't want to cut it, so we're going to attempt to take the sewing machine and take in 3 inches on that side and 3 inches on that side, and that should give us the right width, but not too tight where the magnetic slits in the doors don't work. Now the screen came with the Velcro with a double-sided tape on it, but we're not going to use that. We are going to use it, but we're going to reinforce it with some 3M tape that we're going to put up behind that, which should be a lot stronger. So let's get on with this, and I'll show you how we do this. Now the screen is an upgraded mesh screen. I think it's poly. I'll put all the information to it, and I'll put a link below to this screen. I'll also put a link below to the tape that we're going to use. So let's give this a shot. This should be real frustrating. Okay, so the material that we're going to use, this is the Velcro that comes with it. We're going to cut it in sections, and this is the whole roll. We're starting to cut in sections right there. And this is the 3M tape. This is the really strong tape that we're going to be putting behind the Velcro, and you stick it up there and you kind of let it set for a day, and so it adheres real well. Like I said, I'll put a link to the screen itself and to the tape in the links below. We got scissors, measuring. We cleaned it off real well with some Windex or whatever you want to use to clean it, and waiting for that to dry, and then we're going to go up and put the tape on in the Velcro. What we're doing here now is we're taking this tape, we cut different sections out. Let me show you real quick. One, we put a section right up there in the middle, so we put the double-sided 3M tape on that, and that's going to set up in there. We're going to do the set all the way around these rubber edges all in through here. All this up and down all the way. So we're measuring out different sections of that to make it easier just to apply it. All right, we have the Velcro all the way up and around. All the way with the 3M tape behind it. I do want to let you know though that that 3M tape comes in, what was it, 5 yards? I think it was. I'll have to look that up. I'll put it on the, type it in here. But we had to kind of spread it out because that's all I had left, and this is the Velcro we had left. So we skipped some areas and just used the tape, the adhesive that was on the back of the Velcro itself, but we did put enough of it on, especially on the top where the majority of the weight of the screen is going to be, so that'll hold up pretty good. We're going to let this set now for, I don't know, I'm going to check it out. Okay guys, what we're going to do here is we haven't cut off anything off the edges. Like I said, this thing is 72 or 71.5 inches wide. The van basically is where we got it Velcroed is about, what, 65 inches. So it may be bunched on the ends, but we're going to try to keep it firm and straight. And what's that word, taut? Taut. I always say taut.
So the magnet starts about right here. So I sewed just this part from here to here just to try to extra ensure that no bugs can get in anywhere. And then the magnet's pretty, it's in pieces, but it's pretty solid and continuous all the way down to the end.
Right.
So just sewed up that part right there.
We'll probably have to cut some off the bottom, but that'll be later. Right now what we want to do is we want to concentrate on getting this up there. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit and show you what Nancy's going to do.
Velcro right up here.
Got a little piece of Velcro there. So she's
in the middle.
attaching that. So the opening of this will be directly in the center of the van. She's going to work.
Velcro here. I'm going to squish around this.
She's going to squish around the edges. Make sure that all the
Shove it in there.
little
There.
gaps and holes are filled up. Don't want any of those
In there.
mosquitoes in.
Bring it up.
Okay, so she's working her way to my right and bringing it all the way to the edge. Okay, let's go around the other side. Okay, well, this is from the outside, and she's going to finish Velcroing it along the sides. And you can see down on the bottom, this is all the excess that's left. We're probably going to cut that off, and we're going to put some magnets down here, some heavy-duty magnets, so it just lays flat. But I don't know.
So, do we care about this extra width and this drapiness?
I don't know if it's worth the effort to cut it, sew it, and do that. Wouldn't that be something that if we, after we get to use it for a while, if we feel that it's a problem, we could do it at a later date?
Yes.
And so for right now, once we get the magnets down along the bottom, we've got a good seal here. So we can, it's a heavy duty mesh, no seam mesh. As I back up, you can see it's a French door design for the screen mesh in the back, and with the fan on there and this air circling through it, it'll really cool it off then during the days and nights. We'll have a nice airflow. So we have plenty of, we'll have to roll the corners up like I would with a tent, you know, just roll those corners up like that and try to do some kind of Velcro latch over there or something. We'll figure that out. But this will give me now still access to the garage area, and we do stand up here and make the bed and stuff like that. So what do you think there, Nance?
So, come together real nice.
All right. Well, let's continue on with this, and I'll give you any updates that we may have done. Don't bug you.
I think it's fine. I don't feel like we need to do anything on the bottom. The magnets work really well. If we leave the length, it's kind of weighted at the bottom, and it just seems to want to lay there. We can sort of just tuck it
I
in.
know, and this is what we were talking about too. So we can just pull this apart and
stick it over there.
just basically hang it over there.
Just to get in the garage.
Just there you go.
So.
Just to keep it simple, and then you know, without doing all that Velcro and all that. This closes up. The magnets, see the magnets automatically hit. We could, if the wind starts to blow it out, then it might be a problem. But for right now, we could probably, even if that happened, I could put something on it, some weighted thing to keep it from doing that. Maybe we'll put a little piece of Velcro coming out this way, and a little piece coming out that way to kind of keep those corners down on the bottom. So all in all, I'd say this was the hardest part, was putting the tape up, I guess.
Yep, this is a good project.
This was a good project. Yep.
We passed.
We passed. Good job, honey. All right, we have ourselves a French door screen. Wait till we try to do this. Yep, you can lay back there. Keep the fan on. Nice views, breeze. Looking good. We're gonna do this on the side too. That's gonna be the real trick because of the sink and all that there, and we're gonna have to cut it some, but I think we can do it. All right, so that's our screen door, rear door, French door project. It was a success.